The Bombardier CRJ700, CRJ900, and CRJ1000 are regional airliners based on the Bombardier CRJ200. Final assembly of the aircraft is at Montreal-Mirabel International Airport in Mirabel, Quebec, outside Montreal, Canada. Development. Following the success of the CRJ100/200 series, Bombardier produced larger variants in order to compete with larger regional aircraft such as Embraer's E-Jets, Fokker's F-70/100 series, and the Banner 146/Bombardier family. CRJ700 series. Design work on the CRJ700 by Bombardier started in 1995 and the program was officially launched in January 1997. The CRJ700 is a stretched 70-seat derivative of the CRJ200. Seating ranges from 66 to 78 for the CRJ700 versions, however. The CRJ700 features a new wing with leading-edge slats and a stretched and slightly widened fuselage, with a lowered floor. The early-build aircraft were equipped with two General Electric CF34-8C1 engines. However, later-build aircraft are now equipped standard with the -8C5 model, which is essentially an uprated 8C1. Most airlines have replaced the older engines with a newer model, while a few have kept the older -8C1 in their fleet. Maximum speed is Mach 0.85 at a maximum altitude of 12,500 am. Depending upon payload, the CRJ700 can travel up to 3,620 km with original engines, and a new variant with CF34-8C5 engines will be able to travel up to 4,660 km. The CRJ700 comes in three versions, Series 700, Series 701, and Series 702. The 700 is limited to 68 passengers, the 701 to 70 passengers, and the 702 to 78 passengers. The CRJ700 also has three fuel weight options, Standard, ER, and LR. The ER version has an increase in fuel capacity as well as maximum weight, which in turn increases the range. The LR increases those values further. The executive version is marketed as the Challenger 870. Its first flight took place on May 27, 1999. The aircraft's FAA Type Certificate designation is the CL600-2C10. The CRJ700 first entered commercial service with Brit Air in 2001. The CRJ700 directly competes with the Embraer 170, which typically seats 70 passengers. In 2008, the CRJ700 was replaced with the CRJ700 Next Gen, featuring improved economics and a revised cabin common to the CRJ900 Next Gen and CRJ1000 Next Gen. In January 2011, SkyWest Airlines ordered 4 CRJ700 Next Gen aircraft. In 2006, the CRJ700 was featured in Microsoft Flight Simulator X as one of the demo aircraft, with the Learjet 45 and Robinson A22. CRJ900 and derivative. The CRJ900 is a stretched 76-90-seat version of the CRJ700. The aircraft features two GE CF34-8C5 engines, 59.4 kN thrust with APR, and added leading-edge slats. Max GTOW is 84,500 pounds. The airplane is loosely based on the CRJ200 series with a few major improvements. The environmental packs have a target temperature instead of a hot-cold knob. The cabin has a recirculation fan which aids in cooling and heating. The engines are controlled by FADEC digital engine control instead of control cables and a fuel control unit. The cabin floor has been lowered 2 inches, which gains outward visibility from the windows in the cabin as the windows become closer to eye-level height. The APU is a Honeywell RE220 unit which supplies much more air to the AC packs and has higher limits for starting and altitude usage. The wingspan is longer, the tail is redesigned with more span and anhedral. In typical service the CRJ900 can cruise at Euro 10,000 AFT higher with a slightly higher fuel burn and an average true airspeed of 450 Euro 500 knots, a significant improvement over its predecessor. The FAA Type Certificate designation of the CRJ900 is the CL600-2D24. The first CRJ900 was modified from the prototype CRJ700 by adding longer fuselage plugs fore and aft. It was later converted into the prototype CRJ1000 by installing yet longer fuselage plugs. The CRJ900 competes with the Embraer 175, and is more efficient per seat mile. According to Bombardier, Mesa Air Group was the launch customer for the CRJ900 painted in America West livery. In 2007, Bombardier launched the CRJ900 Next Gen to replace the initial version. The new model has improved economics and a new cabin common to the CRJ700 Next Gen and CRJ1000 Next Gen. Mesabi Aviation, operating at the time as Northwest Airlink, was the launch customer, and remains the largest operator of the CRJ900 Next Gen. The Mesaba fleet of CRJ900 Next Gen aircraft are configured in a two-class seating configuration, with 12 first-class seats and 64 coach seats. Comair, operating as Delta Connection, has ordered 14 CRJ900s, with at least 6 in service as of November 2007. These are in a two-class configuration, with 12 first-class seats and 64 coach seats. This is due to a limitation in Delta's contract with its pilots which limits its regional carriers to flying 76-seat aircraft. In September 2011 PLUNA received its 11th plane. Estonian Air ordered 3 new CRJ900 Next Gen 88-seat aircraft. Also SAS ordered 13 of these in March 2008. Iraqi Airways has ordered 6 Bombardier CRJ900 Next Gen airliners and options on a further 4 of the type. In June 2010 Lufthansa ordered 8 CRJ900 Next Gen. In December 2012 Delta Airlines ordered 40 CRJ900 Next Gen worth $1.89 billion with 30 options. The CRJ700 Series 705 is based on the CRJ900. With a business-class cabin and a reduced maximum seating capacity to allow operation with regional airlines. The Series 705 seats 75 passengers. Some regional airlines have contracts with their major airlines that limit the maximum passenger capacity of aircraft they operate. The Air Canada Pilots Association negotiated a scope agreement with Air Canada limiting the maximum seating capacity of any jet aircraft at Air Canada Express to 75 seats. Air Canada Jazz was the launch customer for this aircraft in 2005 with 10 executive class and 65 economy class seats, all fitted with personal audio-video on-demand systems. The FAA Type Certificate designation of the CRJ705 is the CL600-2D15. Jazz Aviation operates 16 CRJ705s on behalf of Air Canada and is currently the only operator of this type. CRJ1000. On February 19, 2007, Bombardier launched a development of the CRJ1000, previously designated CRJ900X, as a stretched CRJ900, with up to 100 seats. Bombardier claims that it offers better performance and a higher profit per seat than the competing Embraer E190. Brit Air and Air Nostrum were the launch customers for the CRJ1000. MyAir had ordered 15 CRJ900XS that were converted to the CRJ1000, but the airline went bankrupt on July 24, 2009. Atlasjet also indicated interest in the new type. On June 14, 2009 Bombardier announced a new firm order for 15 CRJ1000 next-gen aircraft placed by Air Nostrum, for a total of 35 CRJ1000 next-gen aircraft. The CRJ1000 completed its first production flight on July 28, 2009 in Montreal. The entry into service was planned then for the first quarter of 2010. A month after the first flight, however, a fault in the rudder controls forced the flight test program to be grounded. The program was not resumed until February 2010, and deliveries were projected to begin by January 2011. Bombardier Aerospace announced on November 10, 2010 that its 100-seat CRJ1000 was awarded aircraft type certificates from Transport Canada and European Aviation Safety Agency, clearing the way for deliveries to begin. On December 14, 2010, Bombardier began CRJ1000 deliveries to Britair and Air Nostrum. On December 23, 2010 it was announced that the Federal Aviation Administration had also awarded a type certificate, allowing the CRJ1000 to operate in U.S. airspace. The FAA type certificate designation of the CRJ1000 is the CL600-2E25. In February 2012, Garuda Indonesia Airline ordered 6 CRJ1000s and took options for another 18, and Danish lessor Nordic Aviation Capital ordered 12 for Garuda to operate with delivery beginning in 2012. As of March 2014 a total of 70 aircraft had been delivered to airlines while there are 36 unfilled orders. Operators. As of July 2012, 316 CRJ700 aircraft and 259 CRJ900 aircraft were in airline service. Operators for these aircraft are SkyWest Airlines, Mesa Airlines, Pinnacle Airlines, ExpressJet Airlines, Lufthansa CityLine, HOP. Comair, Envoy Air, GoJet Airlines, Air Canada Express, PSA Airlines, Garuda Indonesia, Scandinavian Airlines, Air India Regional, and other operators with fewer aircraft of the type. Orders and deliveries, Bombardier data as of June 30, 2014. Latest orders, specifications, sources, CRJ700, CRJ705, CRJ900, CRJ1000, notes, Delta Connection branded CRJ900 aircraft seat 76 passengers and 4 crew members in a combined first coach class configuration. See also. Related development, Bombardier CRJ200, Bombardier Challenger 600, aircraft of comparable role, configuration and era, Antonov An 148, Comac ARJ21, Embraer E-Jet family, Fairchild Dornier 728 family, Fokker 70/100, Mitsubishi MRJ70/MRJ90, Sukhoi Superjet 100, Tupolev Tu-334, related lists, list of civil aircraft. References. The initial version of this article was based on a public domain article from Greg Gerbel's Vector site. External links, Bombardier CRJ page, Bombardier CRJ Next Gen page.